and I serve as a Director of Operations for ABH here in Africa. And I'm here to explain to some of friends about the ministry here in Africa and specifically in Tanzania. As you know, the vision of ABH is simplified biblical materials in bite-sized books. And as the vision is, we are reaching out to rural area pastors and equipping them. And the reason as to why we are reaching out to rural area pastors is by 75% of Tanzanians are in rural areas. And so that's where most of the population is. And why this kind of materials simplified the language used and how the concepts are being presented. It's being lowered to reach the level of understanding. And the reason is most of the pastors are untrained, unequipped, both in secular education and theological education. So this education system in Tanzania is what we call a pyramidal system, where you have primary education, secondary education, advanced secondary education, and you have universities. And so in between each level, you have national exams that filters who qualifies to go to another level. So those who are unqualified to the next level, they are given a number of alternative routes. And for those who do not qualify to even to go to those alternative routes, they're always advised to go into pastoral ministry. And so these are the people that we are reaching out to. They are really in need of these kind of materials. But number two, our culture is not a reading culture, it's an oral culture. And so if you just print out books and I call it throwing them to the pastors, I'll tell you for free, most of them won't read the books until they hear either the author of the book or someone coming to explain or train them about the books. And so we have tailored our conferences, we've tagged our conferences to go along with the books. And that's why we have every year we have friends from the US coming to do conferences. For instance, last year we did a marriage conference and we had a book on marriage. So from that conference, it's an encouragement for the pastors to start reading books. Alongside that, we bring what we call a livelihood project that is not just equipping pastors with theological knowledge, equipping them to read their Bibles, but also we think of them as families. They have needs in their families. And I have a story of how it started. I visited a friend in a region called Katavi, and he took me to one of the church planters that he works with. And I met this pastor, and after a number of exchanging of words and conversations, he shared with me that his kids and his family that night did not have food. Literally, they had no food. I had little money I gave them, but again, that wouldn't be enough for a year. And so that really pained me and just made me think, as a father, think of my kids. And so I thought of a way to equip them, to help them, not by giving them fish, but creating capacities for them to be able to fish for themselves, be able to feed themselves. And so we are providing plows, and we have done that in 3 regions, and seeds for the pastors to be able to grow their own crops and grow enough food to provide for their families. And we're expanding that to not just providing plows, but now it goes to training them providing knowledge about seed selection, population, how to do farming, their farming practices, their post-harvest practices, on chain, value chain practices and stuffs like that. And so largely as ABH, as a ministry, from the simplified materials to the conferences to this side of farming, the livelihood, this is what generally we do here. So as you watch this video, this is my prayer that, number one, will you join in praying for what the Lord is doing here in Tanzania and in Africa generally, for the pastors and for the ministry at large, praying for their families. But number two, would you consider coming along with the teams that are coming here as a trainer or as a support, a technical support, just in the area of farming or in whichever position that will be opened? Would you prayerfully consider coming to Tanzania and as a missionary, short mission trip? And number three, would you consider giving financially to support? So this is what I would urge you to pray, to come, and to give. So may the Lord bless you as you do that, and the Lord bless you as you partner with us in reaching out to the pastors who are here in Africa, here in Tanzania. And as we say in Tanzania, Bwana asifiwe, that is, praise the Lord for the step that you are going to take. God bless you.